The storm raged outside my mountain cabin in Pine Hollow, Colorado, on a chilling November night in 2024. Rain hammered the windows, and thunder echoed through the valley as three armed men burst through my door at 2 a.m., shouting, "Sheriff's Department. Freeze!" Their badges glinted under the dim light, but something was off. Wrong insignia, shaky hands. My 7-year-old daughter, Emma, clung to me, sobbing, as they aimed their weapons at us. These weren't cops. They were hired thugs sent by the neighborhood association, and they were after my little girl. My neighbors, peeking through their curtains, thought they were witnessing a legitimate arrest. The men demanded I hand over Emma, threatening federal charges if I resisted. But they had no idea who they were dealing with, a veteran FBI deputy director named James Carter, on leave to protect his daughter. They'd just made a fatal mistake. Let me take you back to how this nightmare began. 2 years ago, my wife, Sarah, died in a tragic accident, leaving Emma and me with an $80 million trust fund from her grandparents, set to pass to Emma at 18. I took leave from the FBI to help Emma heal, moving us to a secluded cabin in Pine Hollow to escape the chaos of D.C. life. It was supposed to be a fresh start, a place for Emma to be a kid again. But someone had other plans. Laura Bennett, Sarah's older sister and the self-proclaimed queen of our neighborhood association. Laura was the kind of person who'd fine you for a crooked mailbox or a lawn half an inch too long. But this wasn't about rules. It was about greed. Laura, drowning in debt after a messy divorce, saw Emma's trust fund as her ticket out. Her eyes lit up when she got the estate papers, and I could practically see the dollar signs flashing in her mind. She didn't know I was FBI, just some secretive widower raising a rich kid. To her, that money should have been hers, and she'd do anything to get it. Laura's plan was meticulous, almost impressive if it wasn't so vile. She started small, spreading rumors about my suspicious behavior, cash payments, my FBI salary, late-night meetings, classified ops, and my refusal to talk about my job, standard protocol. She built a dossier, complete with photos and timestamps, painting me as an unfit father. She held secret neighborhood meetings, whispering about Emma's withdrawn behavior, turning friendly neighbors into suspicious spies. I'd wave at them at the grocery store, clueless they were now Laura's pawns. My FBI instincts kicked in early. This wasn't just petty drama. I ran a background check on Laura, bankruptcy looming, legal fees piling up, and a history of shady schemes. I knew she was after the money, but I couldn't blow my cover. An ongoing investigation into local corruption tied my hands, so I played along, acting shadier to bait her while documenting every move for a federal case. Laura escalated, convincing the neighborhood board to fund child welfare measures with $75,000 from their emergency fund. She hired Apex Security Solutions, a front for ex-cons who'd do anything for cash. Laura thought she was hiring professionals. She was hiring criminals. They set up cameras, tracked my finances, and followed Emma's every move. She justified it as protecting her sister's child, but her lies were unraveling. When she filed an emergency custody petition, backed by a slick legal team, the courtroom felt like a trap. The judge grilled me about my secretive lifestyle, and I couldn't say a word without risking lives tied to my case. Laura's evidence, HOA resolutions, surveillance logs, neighbor testimonies made me look like a monster. The judge granted her supervised visitation, and I left that courthouse gut-punched, watching my daughter slip through my fingers. But Laura wasn't done. She pushed the board to authorize emergency child extraction, convincing them Emma was in danger. Apex Security planned to pose as sheriffs, complete with fake badges and uniforms, to snatch Emma. I overheard their plot through my hidden cameras, Laura hesitating, then agreeing, blinded by greed. "Do whatever it takes," she said. "My sister's daughter deserves better." The fake cops started intimidating Emma, telling her, "Your dad's in trouble. We're here to save you." She'd run to me, tears streaming, asking if she'd have to leave. That's when I snapped. Nobody scares my kid. I set a trap, leaking a fake travel schedule to lure them in while my FBI team waited. That stormy night, they came. I opened the door, calm as ice, and asked for their credentials. Their fake badges were laughable to my trained eye on fonts. Cheap metal. Interesting craftsmanship, I said, flipping one over. What precinct are you from? They stammered, unprepared for pushback. When I flashed my FBI badge, their faces drained of color. I'm Deputy Director James Carter, FBI. You've just committed federal impersonation and attempted kidnapping. They crumbled, confessing Laura's $75,000 payment and her orders to pose as cops. My team swooped in real federal agents, not these clowns arresting them on the spot. At dawn, the FBI raided Laura's house. She screamed, "I'm a neighborhood president. I was protecting Emma." The agent's reply was brutal. "You targeted a federal agent's family." Her conspiracy collapsed. Months of recorded meetings, payments, and confessions sealed her fate. In court, the evidence was overwhelming. Videos of Laura's plotting, audio of her authorizing crimes, and the fake cops' testimonies. She broke down, sobbing, "I didn't know he was FBI." The judge wasn't moved. "You abuse your authority for greed, endangering child." Laura got 25 years, no parole. The fake cops got 18 to 22 years each. The neighborhood association dissolved, its assets liquidated for lawsuits and fines. Neighbors, horrified, apologized to Emma and me, vowing never to let this happen again. Emma and I rebuilt our lives. Therapy helped her heal, and our bond grew stronger. She's thriving now, dreaming of becoming an FBI agent like her dad. As we fish by the lake, she says, "Nobody can hurt us anymore, right?" I hug her tight. "Never again, sweetheart." The community transformed, with new policies banning harassment and protecting privacy. I was honored with a Congressional Medal for Child Protection, promoted to lead the FBI's National Child Protection Division. Laura, meanwhile, rots in prison, still deluded, trying to organize inmates like it's an HOA meeting. Justice was served, cold and final. What would you do if you discover your neighbor was a federal agent? Should Laura have suspected my identity, or was her greed too blinding? Could the community have stopped this sooner, or were they just pawns in her game? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Stay safe out there, you never know who's next door.